Welcome, I'm Rob. Today we're heading over to TeamSport Sheffield, where I'm going to take on the challenge of a 50-lap race against Robbie Boot from RB Racing. Of course, we'll be joined by Superkart Blondie, along with Driving Forward, KTB M-Sport, and some of the guys from Team Top Gun as well. So I was scrolling through my Instagram when I saw a news story from RB Racing himself, saying he was going to be at the 50-lap race on the 3rd of December at Sheffield, and quite frankly I couldn't resist but put myself on. Before we dive into the action, if you haven't yet checked out Robbie's Christmas special, click the link above. It is fantastic, visiting as many tracks as he can in a 24-hour period. I'll have some other links as well down in the description to other people's views of this race, and trust me, they are all worth the watch. A 50-lap race is started with the grid that you check in at, so it's a pretty random order. Well, let's go straight to that grid then. A quick note here, I almost forgot to turn my camera on. I left it till the last minute as I didn't think the battery would last for the entire race. Turns out it did. And I almost missed the start, but here we go. Unfortunately, as the karts are still quite cold, one of them doesn't get off the line and we get a red flag. I ensure I stay behind kart 11, but most people don't know and unfortunately gain places up the inside of turn 1. That's great. So with Kevin now on the move, I get past kart 11 as the lights go green, but I make up the filling of a sandwich with Goose on my left and kart 11 on my right. It's essentially a public session and it's only lap 1, so I do take it a bit easy going into this hairpin as I was unsure what others were going to do. Kevin doesn't and is now making up places. I'm able to follow through as we do get past 2 of the karts though. That was a bit of a scary moment. We're following Kevin closely and we have to avoid the kart facing the wrong way. Of course, the red flag has to come out for that one. Remember, this is still just lap 1. We're green at the top of the ramp, so let's try and get ourselves past Kevin, Goose and a Superkart Blondie now. I appear to be slightly slower on the straights, but I was able to close back up in the corners. This will work for now. Kevin catches me out there as he brakes for top pits bend. I guess he's still learning this track. As Jester has come past coming up the ramp, they've gone to move back onto the racing line for turn 1, seemingly forgetting I was there. He did apologise for it after the race, but I'd forgotten about it by then, to be honest. I make it an easy path back though, on the brakes into the hairpin for the ramp. I make sure to leave space as he's slightly alongside still. This does allow him back through. I'm not sure what or why I said anything there though. It's another switchback to get him on the brakes. I'm not leaving room this time. Kart 6, despite being an NPC and all that rented TeamSport gear, held me up for quite a bit of time there. I made it around the outside on the exit of the hairpin. We passed our first back markers too now. I thought that was quite soon. Kevin has started reaching around behind him. I'm guessing his rib protector has moved and he's a bit uncomfortable. He's clearly very distracted by something. It's still there. Oh, hang on, he's found it. Turns out one of the bolts that holds the seat on had come out and was rattling around behind him. He's still braking going into top pit's bend too. You'd have thought a BIKC national finalist would have learnt that it's flat out by now. I got the switchback completed and I get the run into the hairpin. Kevin's tried to switch back up the ramp, but now he's on the outside. We go side by side through the left-hander and I finalise the pass through the second left into the ramp. I catch a back marker again and make quite a bit of contact pushing my way past. With a few laps past of not much happening, I catch up to the back of Kart 8. They're a lap down, but they're not going to make it easy for me to get past. I get a run up the ramp, but I'm on the outside. That's not where I want to be. And it allows Kevin to come back through as well. And Jester. I've had enough. Despite being squeezed to the barrier, I've locked my brakes and committed to the inside of the hairpin. It's not how I like to do it, but I'm past. It's time to reclaim those 2 lost positions. More back markers passed and I'm all over the back of Jester now. I just need to find a way through. Chester's taken a look up the inside of Kevin and we're now 3 wide on the exit. Jester backs out of it though, so I'm through and on the hunt for Kevin. I've got the run going up the ramp, but again I'm on the outside. I'm quite far ahead though, so as long as I leave enough space on the inside for Kevin, this should work. And I made it. I'm back into 6th place for me now. Kevin's car wasn't smelling all that great as I went past though. The red flag appears and the NPC in kart 6 just slams on his brakes. I just about avoided him and stopped at the top of the ramp, as you're supposed to. After a while, Kevin reappears in a new kart. He blew up the first one. I've skipped forward 13 very lonely laps. I passed a few back markers several times without issue, watched the lead pack slowly pull away from me whilst I was pulling quite a strong gap on Kevin too. Other than a short coughing fit, nothing really happened. I'm planning to do this in my videos for 2024, but if you're really committed and want to see those laps that I cut out, I have a link to those in the description as well. I'm intrigued how many of you could actually watch that. I've come back at this point as I've caught Kart 24 to lap them once again. They look to be taking a wide line as though they knew I was coming to leave me a gap. It gets closed off and I make contact. I do wave a hand of apology at the hairpin though. We skip another few lonely laps and my car has now started vibrating a little more than normal. It's coming from the front right hand corner. The wheel has started vibrating heavily and is squeaking too, for good measure. I don't think it's a tyre pressure issue as the car is actually still turning quite well. Now the vibration has stopped, but it feels like I have the brake applied on the front right wheel all the time. I'll have to stop and swap this car. Hopefully I've got enough of a lead over the karts behind to not lose any places. That's Kevin that I've just pulled out in front of, but it does look like I lost a place to Jester. He must have come through at some point. This kart was being used by one of the back markers who must have retired. I don't know how long it's been sat, but it should be reasonably warmed up. At least I hope. I'm straight back onto the pace I was at before, so I should be able to pull away from Kevin once again. 58.0 is the fastest I've been so far. This is Kart 11 after all, so it should be reasonably quick. I doubt I'll be able to catch up to that lead pack though. I see Kevin has dropped right off, but also that driving forward in first place is closing up on him. I don't know if they meant to or not, but the NPC made that pass easy. They got a thumbs up from me. I've caught more back markers, but it's in the wrong place really. I had to brake quite a bit as I couldn't get up the inside of Kart 24. Again, I couldn't make it up the inside. Late on the brakes, into turn 1, we'll have to do it instead. I come past car 8 on the brakes into this hairpin again, with only a few laps to go. Hopefully I won't have to deal with those two anymore. Lap 49 there was my quickest of the race so far, even though I was a bit unhappy with it right at the end there.
That's 50 laps complete and the thrill is unmatched. I even snagged the fastest lap from Superkart Blondie by 4 thousandths of a second right at the end. If only I had this car from the start, I may have had a better chance of being towards the front of the pack. I was unable to catch back up to Jester, although I was starting to catch sight of him every now and then. If you haven't seen the other videos, do remember to check out the links in the description. This was a bit of an unofficial RB Racing community race as gathered us all together at the last moment. But if you'd like to join my official community race for 2024, it will be held here at Sheffield on the 27th of January. I had a few people already book on, but to be honest, it's fewer than I was expecting at this stage. I'm hoping you were just waiting for Christmas to be over and that January payday to arrive. You can head on over now to robgoes.racing/shop to book your place. Let's make it an epic showdown. As always then, thank you so much for joining me on my go-karting adventures. If you've enjoyed this video, smash that like button and let me know how you feel about me cutting out these sections with not much going on down in the comments. I'm not 100% sure what my release schedule is going to be for this month. I'm just going to release these final few videos of 2023 as and when they are ready. My plans for 2024 have already started and I'm hoping for a more successful year. Until the next video, cheers.